Hi there. We are in component 3, looking at writing about planning. Now, I like to say to candidates, this is the part that is done before you video. So when you're writing in this, I want you to think about this from the lens of, oh, I thought about this before I designed my lesson. Those of you who use the AAT lesson plan, the Architecture of Accomplished Teaching lesson plan, that many of us as candidate support providers use to help support you, you would have done this work within developing the AAT lesson plan. Okay, so then when you come down to the next portion, which is down a few pages, let's see how many pages on this particular one, which is early, this is ENL. Wait a minute, where are your questions? Right here. Your written commentary questions are on page 12, but what we are talking about right now is on page 6. So again, this is done before you videotape. Your mind is in a space of planning, not post. This isn't, you do this post the video. So many times that is a grave error teachers do, because then one of your questions in the written commentary asks you, how are things different? And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, I just wrote about what I did. So remember, this is prior to the video. Put your mind there. This is your planning stages. All right. So what are your long-term instructional goals and plans, if any, to integrate in this case, because this is an ENL, this would say EC Gen or math or science or whatever your area is, depending upon your particular portfolio. But otherwise, it's all going to be the same. To integrate your subject area learning with topics from other disciplines during the school year. And why are these goals and plans appropriate for these students? So each video, you're going to answer this question for. So let's think about long-term instructional goals and plans with topics. And in this case, it's from other disciplines. It is this for most of you. And why are these goals and plans appropriate for these students? So you think about it, the majority of us have, less than half of the days in a year. Here in my state, 180 days to educate students. So we have to break these up into big, larger, like units of study with longer term instructional goals that aren't going to happen in a 15-minute lesson plan. So that basically here, the assessor is trying to figure out, are you able to think and plan in a long-term fashion in bigger, broader ideas, topics, concepts, and in a short-term fashion, which is what's in blue here? How do the instructional goals for this particular lesson fit into your long-term goals and plans? So the long-term goals are less directly measurable in a single lesson. The ones in a single lesson have very specific verbs that you can see. The kids are comparing and contrasting. The kids are justifying. The kids are applying. The kids are analyzing. They are identifying. They are that type of thing. Long-range goals is more like the understands. That's like huge. It's huge for them to understand something in a bigger fashion that is bigger. So these need to be in alignment with each other. The overarching, longer-term instructional goals still has to be measurable because it's an instructional goal. It would be when you think about your state standards or the Common Core standards or anything like that, it's the bigger standard piece. And then you've got the broken down objectives. Those little broken down objectives are targets. They're what's in blue. That's your instructional goals. The red is that bigger piece right above it. that is going to take multiple lessons and days for the kids to really get. It's almost like things have to stack on top to get that. Multiple objectives and goals have to go together to get that. So those two go hand in hand, and they should not be like aliens to each other. They should not be foreign. They should connect beautifully. And also another grave error that I see teachers make is over on their forms, they'll write goals one way, and then they come over into their writing about planning, and they'll write a totally different goal. And I'm just like, wait, over here on your form, that goal and the goal in your writing, they have to be the same. Those are your goals for the lesson. It's almost like the assessor hears them twice. You all are saying, oh, wait, they said don't repeat things, I'm not saying that you are repeating. I'm just saying you're not changing the goals. So yes, you have to put your goals in your form, and yes, you need to be using your goals, or at least the number of the goals, so the assessor can go back and see it on the form in your writing. So it's not brand new goals when you get over here to writing about planning. And the other thing is, when you get to your written commentary, which in this case is on page 12 for ENLs, you need to make sure that you're still connecting back to these goals, these long-term instructional goals, and these short-term lesson instructional goals, targets, objectives, whatever you want to call them, that are in blue. So alignment is key here, making sure that everything connects together and you're consistent. Consistent is a huge piece to scoring well in the national board certification process. We can just see it building all the way through your portfolio. So I hope this helps with understanding goals, objectives, targets, yada, yada, standards. Just goes on and on, right? Yeah, it's the semantic wars of the national board. I love it. I hope you're having fun with the process. If you need additional help, remember, I've got a course around component 3 that helps you to break this down into language you understand and support you through putting your information in templates that's easy to organize for your writing. Come over to TraceyBryantStuckey.com. You'll find me there in the component 3 course. Talk to you soon. Bye now.